Hey y'all, how are all my beautiful friends doing? I hope y'all all are having a great day and welcome back to Crime Time with Mal. If you have never seen me before, hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Mallory and over here we cover, take a breath Mallory, dang. I mainly cover missing and unsolved cases. My passion is the missing and to get the word out for their loved ones that haven't seen their family members in Lord knows how long, and the unknown is literally torture to them. So I just want to do my part and spread awareness. And if you are not new and you are returning, y'all know how much I appreciate each and every single one of you. Even if you just watch my videos and you're not subscribed, which you should, but if you're not and you still continue to watch, that helps too, and I cannot thank y'all enough. So today's video, as you can tell by the title, I just can't let some things go. And I've been talking to my husband and my friends about this, as well as law enforcement in my town and surrounding towns. And they even are very skeptical of what I'm telling them. So I want to discuss this with y'all. I want to hear what y'all have to say. So please leave your thoughts and opinions down below, but please be respectful. If you're just downright rude, I will delete your comment because we don't do that over here. We are nice and we're all adults and that's what this community is all about. So I've got a huge bone to pick and let's just go ahead and get into this video. So there's a YouTube channel over here called Check It TV, which I am sure a lot of y'all are aware about what they have found in Prosser Creek Reserve. Now, this guy is just an individual that is, I don't know if he lives in Truckee, but he is nearby and decided after they found Kiely's car that he was gonna go out there and search the waters where her car was found to see if he could find anything else. Well, he found quite a few things. That means law enforcement, after they pulled Kiely's car out of this creek, lake, whatever it is, they did not go back and send divers to go search for any of Kiely's belongings that they know would have more than likely came out of Kiely's SUV by flipping it over to take it out of the lake. So that right there, I was really just curious if that was standard procedure, if they would go back and retrieve those items. And let me tell you, now I live in Georgia, so I can't tell you how they do things over in California, but in Georgia, I spoke to a handful of law enforcement and they all said that is standard procedure, that once a vehicle is removed, you do go back and you send either divers or whoever to go out there to search for remaining items that were left behind, because those could be possible potential evidence. Because as of now, they don't know if there was foul play involved or if it was an accident. So I find that extremely strange and concerning. And if you don't know, there was a laptop found, some chargers of Kiely's, as well as some cords, a hairbrush, some mints, and just different random things. And they were confirmed to be Kiely's from my knowledge, according to family and friends. And then also some of these items had Kiely's name on them. And y'all, we have to think about, this was 100 yards from shore, right? 100 yards, 10, 14 feet down, right there. We're not talking about 50, 100, even 20 feet down that they would have to go back and search for items. It is literally right there. My 7-year-old could dive down there and get those items. I also find it extremely concerning that law enforcement told AWP, don't worry about searching at that lake because we've already searched there. As well as Sammy from, my good friend Tony from All American Dream Chaser. He interviewed Sammy and Sammy said that they have extensively searched that lake. They have divers and helicopters and everything out there, and they are doing the most of the most. I talk about this all the time. No stone goes unturned. When you are in law enforcement, and your job is to protect your community and to leave no stone go unturned when you are dealing with a case, that is what we, the public, expect you to do. We expect you to treat these cases like they were your own family members. And I do believe a lot of law enforcement does treat these cases as if it was their family. You know what I mean? I really do believe that. But I do think that law enforcement in this situation has dropped the ball, because I have spoken to other law enforcement, and whenever I tell them these things, they're like, that makes no sense. I mean, her computer, Kiely's computer, there could be so many things on that computer that could say so much. But then again, I mean, there could be nothing, but you don't know because you didn't go back and check. Another thing that I noticed that really kept bugging me is the fact that when law enforcement was pulling Kiely's car out of the lake, they did not have any gloves and they were touching all over the vehicle. Now, some could argue that when the vehicle is underwater, the fingerprints will eventually disintegrate. So it wouldn't really matter if their prints were on the vehicle in the first place. So I understand that. I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right with me with that. You don't know how long the vehicle was underwater. I'm sure it's been underwater for a while, but if it was, how did y'all miss it? Especially since there's pictures of divers from law enforcement, well, not from law enforcement, but that they brought in that were diving right there that completely missed Kiely's car. Something is not adding up. I'm sorry. And I really hope it's an accident. I really, really, really do. But I just can't shake this feeling of something bad happened. So I found this timeline on the Facebook group of Kiely's, and I did not make this. I don't honestly know who made it, but I did find it on Facebook, and I just wanted to share it with you because I think it is extremely interesting. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but you can either screenshot it and zoom in, or I'll leave the link down below. But it basically says on 8/4, Kate and Kiely are in Reno, Nevada together. Then on August 5th, the Lana Del Rey hoodie was loaned to Kiely. And then hours before her disappearance, Kiely was out with close friends, Kate, and they were making creme brulee together. We know all this. Kiely was on a local business camera in Truckee at 6:08 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., Elsa arrives at the party to help one or three boys who hosted the party set up. 9 p.m., Sammy Smith arrives at the party per Sammy. 9:15, Sammy arrives at the party with blank per other party goer and a friend. Then at 9:30, David and Jennifer, which is campers there, witness a train of cars going to the party. About 20 local expected people arrive at the party. And then 10 p.m., Kiely and Mags arrive at the party. Huge group of kids they have never met show up before, says party goer. Between 10 and 10:30, the party started growing really big per Sammy. 10:15, 10:30, Mags leaves the party with her boyfriend Ross. Around that same time is when Kiely responds to Jagger's text and says, "Oh, I'm sorry you're going through that," and he tells her not to do anything stupid. After this, the ground is covered in glow sticks. 11 o'clock, first time Elsa sees Kiely. Caught sight of Kiely a few times after that. Sammy and Kiely go to Kiely's car to charge her phone, drink some more alcohol that was in Kiely's car. Sammy mentions a couple of other friends being in the vehicle as well. Sammy asked Kiely for a ride home from the party because her ride was leaving and she wanted to stay a little longer. Then at 11:30, Kiely's mom receives a text saying that she plans to leave the party around 45 minutes, which is around 12:15. This was also the last time that Elsa goes into the parking lot area. And then at August 6th at 12 a.m., this is the last time Elsa sees Sammy. 12:03, last location mom was able to see at the campground. 12:20, all lights are taken out of the tree and the generator used for the party is taken home. 12:25, last time Sammy sees Kiely. I was leaving and I gave her a hug, telling her I loved her and goodbye, and for her to go home safe or be safe. 12:30, Snapchat data shows Ping in the same location at the campground. Campers David and Jennifer witness a large group of cars leaving the party. Kiely falls into a hole where Elsa and her friends are talking. They help her up and ask her if she's okay. She said yes. Elsa's friend asked if Kiely had a ride because he was taking Elsa home and he had space in his car. Kiely said she had a ride and walked away alone towards where the cars were parked. No headlights or anything else from that direction for a remainder of Elsa's time there. Last time Elsa sees Kiely. 12:33 in the morning, Kiely's phone is turned off. 12:36, Sammy receives a call from Kiely asking Sammy if she needs a ride home. Sammy is in the car with somebody else at the time, pretty much on 89 with my ride on her way home, Sammy states. When she called, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and people, many people talking in the background. 12:40, two boys, high school juniors, start yelling at each other and were about to fight but didn't. One walked away and the other blocked off the main road out of his vehicle and started playing music. No one could have left the main way after that. This is the video from the news. We see the boys screaming and people standing around. At 12:50, Elsa begins walking to her friend's car all the way at the back of the pavement road. They walk to the Y intersection, left out, and turn left, which I will show you a map of that in just a moment. 1 a.m., Elsa pulls away from the party. 8 a.m. is when Kiely's mom wakes up and realizes Kiely never came home. 9 a.m., the friends and Kiely's mom wait at Starbucks to see if she shows up for their scheduled camping trip. 5:47, PCSO first tweet about Kiely, and then the incident currently being handled by Placer in Nevada County. Now let's go over this map real quick. This red circle you see up here at the top is where that David and Jennifer witnessed the large group of vehicles leaving around 9:30 or arriving at 9:30 and leaving at 12:30 in the morning. The blue circle by that purple Y is where the location of the party was and the boxing match. Now I've seen places, different locations. Now, some people have said that down by the sand area, cars were parked there, but then also this orange circle right there, a lot of people have said that that is where a lot of people parked for the party, including Kiely. This yellow line is the main dirt road in and out, and it is extremely bumpy and hard to navigate. The purple lines are also some parking on the side of the road, but it was limited due to trees in the area. And that green path that you see off there, that is a dirt road that goes to 89, but unless you have a special off-road vehicle, you can't drive that way. This blue line is a steep hill. There's lots of trees and stumps, and there's no way that anything can drive through there. And then, of course, that red or pink X is where Kiely's vehicle was found. Who is this Elsa person? Because I've heard Sammy, I've heard Mags, I've heard of, I forgot the other girl's name, Kate, Jagger, Mag's boyfriend, Ross. I haven't really heard anything about Elsa. Fox 11 in Reno did an article and they did a timeline about Kiely's disappearance. And in there, they talked about Elsa. Now around 12:20 in the morning, all of the lights that were put up in the trees to help light up the campground so all the kids could see, and the generator that was there was starting to get packed up. So this is at 12:20, right? 5 minutes later, Sammy leaves and tells Kiely goodbye. Now, before I go further, I do want to say, I'm not saying that any of these teenagers are involved in Kiely. I'm just saying something does not add up. And if there was really 200 to 300 people there, somebody would have seen something. So that's all I'm saying. It's just things are very weird. 12:33 a.m. Kiely's phone dies. And then at 12:36 in the morning, per Sammy, Kiely calls Sammy. Granted, Sammy could have messed up the time, but I figured she would have gone back like the next day when she realized that her friend was missing and looked and see what time that she talked to Kiely last and known that it was 12:36, because that's a very exact time to say. You know what I mean? But how is that possible if Kiely's phone died at 12:33 and that was confirmed by law enforcement? So again, things just aren't adding up. Also, Sammy said that Kiely had a ride. So who was her ride? Was somebody taking her car and taking her back home? Was Kiely supposed to ride with somebody else? Because remember, Jagger, Sammy, every single one of Kiely's friends said Kiely was extremely responsible, extremely smart. Hello, she was 16 and graduated high school with honors, and she would never drive drunk and always used her seatbelt. But now some of her friends are saying that is exactly what happened. Hey, this is a pure accident. Kiely was drinking, drove, made a wrong turn, which we will get to in a minute, ended up in the lake because it was dark. How do they know that's what happened? They haven't even gotten any reports back. You'll have said that she would never do that, but now you're saying to leave it alone, that that's exactly what happened. And that Nick, this guy that AWP interviewed, the roadside assistance guy, he's full of it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He didn't see Kiely that next day. Kiely never called roadside assistance. How do you know this? How do you know if Kiely called somebody or not? How do you know? How? And from my understanding, AWP, they vet the people that they talk to on their channel, and they vetted this guy. Not only that, but this guy works at roadside assistance. He has admitted he has audio and video footage of all of the stops that he makes. And why would he lie about that? He already said he sent it into law enforcement. So that would be pretty freaking dumb of him to go on AWP's channel with millions of subscribers and lie about this. I don't know. They're saying he's doing it for clout. For clout? Come on. And if it was her car, that means she didn't drive off into the lake that next morning. She didn't make a wrong turn. She was at Boca, 30 minutes north of the last campground she was at. Not to mention, this Nick guy is not the only one that has said this. Another person, now I don't know if this is true, anybody can say it. This person said that their friend saw Kiely or somebody that looked like Kiely there also at Boca, and they just didn't think that it was her. But then when they heard Nick's story, they were like, oh, well, maybe that was really her. I also want to point out that AWP went on this channel Zav Girl, and I only watched bits and pieces of this interview, but even Doug said that he still thinks it is suspicious, because as you see, and if you look at this graph, you will be able to see a little more. So if she made a wrong turn that goes into the lake, instead of going down the paved road to get out of the campground, she went down this dirt road that leads to the lake, right? AWP said this dirt road is extremely rough terrain. Like, there are bumps and ditches, and you almost have to have a four-wheel drive to even get down there. Like, their trailer was wobbling side to side getting down there themselves. So I feel like if she was even intoxicated or inebriated, you would know that you are going the wrong way. And this is not her first time at this campground. She knows it very well. Now, another extremely important picture that I'm sure most of y'all have seen is this one right here. This is a still picture from AWP's video of Kiely's vehicle under the water. And somebody noticed that it looked like part of a seatbelt was hanging out of the back of the hatchback. Now, in CRVs, if you don't know, which I'm sure you do, the middle seatbelt is actually stored in the roof, and you have to bring it down, buckle it on this side, and then bring the seatbelt over to buckle it on that side to make sure you're strapped in. And then you have to undo that, take that part of the seatbelt to unlock the part that you locked in, and then store it back up there. So this makes me wonder if that was the middle part, like the middle seatbelt that was sticking out of the back. And that would explain a little more of why Nick, the roadside assistance guy, was saying that Kiely was asking very weird questions about this seatbelt. Kiely knows how to work a seatbelt. Maybe she did not know how to work the middle seatbelt, or maybe one of Kiely's friends that looked like Kiely did not know how to work the middle seatbelt. Adding on to that, a lot of people on social media I've heard say, well, if that was the case, law enforcement would immediately came out and said that they suspect foul play. I don't necessarily think that is true. I think if they did suspect foul play, this is a huge case and they don't want to tip off anyone that might be responsible. So they're waiting for the coroner's report, the toxicology report, and everything to come back, and then take a step from there. And I think that is a smart move. And that is, in my opinion, just what they are doing. I could be completely wrong because I don't know jack But law enforcement did say that they expect the investigation, review, and redaction processes to be completed by November 1st, 2022. So that is, what month are we in? September. That's less than 2 months away, right? But if the records aren't available in 2 months, then they will come back out and set a new release date of when they think that they will be ready. So in this release also, the toxicology report will be available as well. So it seems like a long way away, but y'all, it's gonna be here before we know it. Could take 2 to 3 months. So it could very well possibly be pushed back further than November 1st. But I really hope they aren't washing it all away because of an accident, just because, without doing any investigation. I feel like if the toxicology and everything comes back that there's suspicion, I feel like they would not be able to hide that because that would be released to the public. And this is just my opinion. I know personally, if they come back and say it was an accident, I would greatly question that. And I hope it is, like I say, but I don't know. I'm really torn. Just things don't add up, y'all. And I have a really icky feeling about this case, and I hope I'm wrong. But let me know what y'all think about all this information. And thank you so much for watching this video. Even if you have heard this information before, I still wanted to bring it to y'all and talk about it with y'all. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. I don't know what you're doing, just go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much. I love y'all. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss whenever I upload or I go live, and I will see you in my next video. Please stay safe and stay aware of your surroundings, and yeah, I love y'all. Bye.